Eau Rouge, Radion, the bus stop chicane. Iconic turn names and an iconic circuit. History lives here at Spa-Francorchamps at the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Kevin Magnussen yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Stroll, Sargent, Ocon, Gasly, Albon, Bottas, Russell, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Sainz, De Vries, Leclerc, Joe, Hamilton, and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? But we'll soon find out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Currently sat in 6th. Ocon ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Sonoda behind. They're on fresh softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 2.6 seconds. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. 43 laps to go. Caution, caution. The track is clear, green flag. I've got some information on Alonso. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. Ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1 minute 50.7. And you're closing by 0.4 a lap. Keep it going. Okay, you've got P3, well done. Okay, Magnussen ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Okay, Hulkenberg's behind you now. Okay, car behind trailing us, 1.1 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time. Okay, 41 laps to go. gap to your teammate behind is 3.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're sitting in 7th. And the time last lap was a 1:49.9. Ocon behind. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 2.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was a 1:50.3. Stroll ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1:49.5. Right, at the moment you're losing 0.3 a lap. Come on, dig in. Okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1:49.7. Affirmative, medium tyres at the next stop. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're sitting in 7th. Your last lap time was a 1:50.1. Pack, that's P1. That's Stroll behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. And there's 36 laps to go. Tyre condition still looking good. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Stroll behind. Our gap behind is 1.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1:50.9. Okay, so that last lap was a 1:50.9. Gap to your teammate behind is 5.7 seconds. push now, we're boxing this lap. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. You only have to stop once now, one stop left. Come on, you can win that place back. And you've got P15, P15. That's Joe just ahead. Push for that position. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, Bottas behind. Okay, the gap behind is 2.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They've got some kind of mechanical problem. Your pit window opens in 15 laps time. Okay, 32 laps to go. Magnussen stopping now. It's Hamilton ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 2.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 13 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 50.8. behind us is 2.3 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. We think they've got 1 more stop. The last lap time was a 2 minutes 02.7. Logan ahead, and gap to the car in front is 8.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1:51.3. Okay, so that last lap was a 1 minute 48.8. Leading the car behind by 1.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:48.0. Currently, the fastest lap is a 1 minute 47.1. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid. Logan's coming in for his stop now. You're in first position, front of the pack. That's Stroll behind you. Okay, gap to the car behind. 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. You've got 11 laps until your pit window opens. Okay, 28 laps to go. Okay, so the time last lap was a 1:49.2. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 13.9 seconds. That's P1. Stroll behind. Okay, car behind trailing us, 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. 27 laps to go. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Gap to your teammate behind is 13.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 15th. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 48.7. Some information on Magnussen for you. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car. behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:49.2. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 1.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. So the time last lap was a 1:50.4. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 11.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Your last lap time was a 1:49.0. First position, front of the pack. That's Stroll behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 2.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps. Okay, 22 laps left. teammate behind is 11.6 seconds. Verstappen behind you now. Our gap behind is 2.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 49.2. Your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Pack, that's P1, and Verstappen's behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. You've got 20 laps left until the end. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. Verstappen behind you now. And the gap behind us is 1.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 12 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:49.6. Okay, last lap time was a 1 minute 49.6. issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. And Verstappen's behind. Leading the car behind by 1.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 13 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:49.5. Box, we're coming in this lap. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 10.6 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Push, push, use your overtake button, let's go. Okay, you're in ninth position. Bottas ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 3.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Verstappen behind you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Our gap to first place is 15.7 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, good work. Great pass. Logan's ahead of you. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 49.8. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 2.4 seconds. That's 8th place, you're in 8th place. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, gap to the car behind, 1.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 9.0 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 13 laps to go. Okay, Logan's in the pits. Logan in the pits now. Okay, that's Tsunoda just ahead. Come on, push hard. Our gap to the car in front is 1.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:49.6. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. Get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. Front of the pack, and Verstappen's behind. Okay, car behind trailing us, 1.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops. Let's go, and 11 laps to go. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 0.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:47.3. Okay, so the last lap time was a 1:47.4. gap to your teammate behind is 19.5 seconds. Verstappen's behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Time last lap was a 1 minute 47.6. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 20.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're currently 17th place. And the time last lap was a 1:48.1. That's P1. Verstappen behind you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left. Fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:46.5. We don't currently have the data for that request. Tyre condition still looking good. We've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. And Verstappen's behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 12 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:48.6. Gap to your teammate behind is 19.5 seconds. tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. You're in first position, front of the pack. Verstappen behind you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Okay, we've lost a position, that's us down a place. Okay mate, this is the final lap of the race, final lap. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Leclerc is behind you. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. Time last lap was a 1 minute 48.6.
Get in there.
Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's an interesting one today. On balance, I think I have to call out Alexander Albon. A really solid drive from him today, and one that he and his team should be proud of.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.